Good afternoon, class. My name is Jacqueline Sanchez, and today's date is January 15th, 2018. And I will start by reviewing this week's lab, which is overview of anatomy lab report. Just this. It consists of, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages long. So I'm going to read the instructions, which is the overview of anatomy. This is separate as a separate packet that was uploaded to the student portal. It says review the safety material and wearing goggles by working with chemicals. Read the entire exercise before you begin. Take your time to organize your materials, and you will need to set aside a safe place for your workspace. And this, to complete the exercise. Experiment summary. Students will describe the common anatomic terms of the body and locate the region of the body in reference to the anatomic position. Students will also use a model to demonstrate 3 planes in reference to anatomic position. Each student will identify the 11 organ system indicates the organ system that are included in each system and discussion of the function of each organ. So that was page 1. Learning objective. Upon completion of this laboratory, students will be able to define the term of anatomy, histology, and gross anatomy, explain the anatomical position and its importance, describe common anatomic terms and orientations of the body, classify the planes of the body in reference to the anatomic position, locate the regions of the body in reference to anatomic position, demonstrate 3 planes in reference to the anatomic position, categorize the 11 organ systems that are included in each system and each function. So the materials for this class would be a digital camera, which is what I'm going to use in my iPad, a kitchen knife, a pencil, and a small piece of paper, which I decided to use a little post-it just to label. Those are my materials. And the supply that I got from the kit, which are clay to help build my models of the human body. It says, to fully accurately complete this lab exercise, you will need to access a computer to upload your digital images. My laptop's right there, and I'll show you my setup. Basic photos of entering software PowerPoint are added to labels, the leaders, and the lines of the digital photos. Subject, specific textbook, or appropriate references to resources from the lecture content or others suggested. Note, the packaging of the material, the STEM pack kit, may differ slightly that which listed above. An exact listing of material refers to the contact list from included your STEM kit. Okay. Background of gross anatomy, just giving you a view. Gross anatomy and anatomic position. Anatomy is a study of the structure of an organism that can be divided into two areas: histology and gross anatomy. Histology is the study of microscope structures of cell tissues. Gross anatomy, gross meaning large, the study of structure that are visible to the naked eye. Gross anatomy includes study of tissue, organs, and organ system. Anatomic position, the standard body position of the anatomic position of the body, standing with the arms positioned by the side, palm to palm, forward, the thumbs pointing outward from the body, from the feet and the shoulder, which is wide apart in figure 1.1. So this is the anatomic position. Here. So this is just more of like a review of what part we're going to be seeing. So the universe has agreed to set up terms and define the anatomic structure, orientation, regions, locations, and relationships. See figure 2 for body orientation. The anterior, which is means the frontal posterior of the human body. Medial or lateral, it's like the midline. And then proximal or distal is closer to, connects the body. Means away from where the appendage connects the body to the knee is the distal in the pelvis, but proximal to the ankle. Superficial, deep, meaning of the outside of the body, and deep meaning towards the inside of the body. The skin is superficial to the digestive tract, to the heart. Is deep to the ribs. Superior, inferior means directly above towards the top of the head, and inferior means directly below towards the bottom of the feet. The diaphragm is the superior to the kidneys, and the ribs are inferior to the head. So here's an image. Relative atomic positions of the human body, region of atomic references, cheek, head, forehead, mouth, nose, bases of the skull, eye socket, and ear. Axial trunk, which consists of like the neck, trunk below the ribs, lower back ribs, breast, navel, spinal column. Shoulders, forearm, armpits, arms above the elbow, wrists, fingers, toes, hands, posterior elbows, palms of the hands, thumb, shoulder blades, breastbone and chest. Pectoral would be like the heel, hip, lower of leg, thigh, lateral, buttocks, toes, kneecap, groin, foot, anus, pelvis, back of the knee, sole of the feet, genitals, and so forth. Body plane section. The body can be divided in different sections. These sections are made of a long plane. The sagittal, which is divided right to left in the middle of the body. The middle of the body along the sagittal plane is called the median plane, the mid-sagittal plane. The frontal plane is also called corneal, divides the body into anterior, posterior. The transverse place and horizontal plane divides the body into superior and inferior. Movements can also be described through these planes. In figure 3. So this is a glimpse of how the sagittal planes are. Transverse, inferior, so you could get an idea. So microscopic and microscopic organization of the body. The organization of the human body is dependent on the relationship and specialization and functions of cells. Cells are grouped together into tissue. Groups or tissues are called organs. Finally, groups of organs may be organized into different organ systems. In skeleton, muscular, lymphatic, immune, respiratory, digestive, nerve, endocrine, cardiovascular, urinary, and reproductive system. Together, these organs create an entire organism, the body. So you could see it in figure 4 and figure 5. Cell, tissue, organs, organ system, and organism, humans. So that's one. And here are the body. Exercise 1. Review the atomic terms in the human body. In the following exercise, you will use the body to recall the atomic positions. In the procedure, locate each general area of the body listed below in Table 1. 2. Pointing the areas on your body in reference to the body's orientation to become more familiar with it. With these terms, eventually the meaning and referring to the background. So I will have to do this in part 2, identify what it is on certain parts. Number 2, use a digital camera to take pictures of the anterior and posterior label with the camera. You will use the photographies multiple times throughout the exercise. Use a computer or digital program to label each photo with all the general areas listed in the table. Refer to the appendix and how to label image and guidelines. Resize and insert the label photography and data table for lab report assistance. Note that the appendix is entitled to resizing image for guidance with resizing an image. Locate of the atomic region of the body listed below, Table 2. Become familiar with each term and eventually can recall their meanings without referring to the background. So in Table 2, you basically have like a full table of the atomic regions of the body, like the nostril, the abdominal, popliteal. Use the computer program to digitally label the photographies taken in Step 2 as you mainly atomic regions of the body listed in Table 2. These are visible. For example, you are able to label nostril anterior photography. Resize and insert label photographies in Table 2. So in Exercise 2, we're reviewing the body planes. For procedure, write your name and data on a piece of paper. This sheet of paper will be used in your photographies throughout the experiment. Create a model of humans using clay, which is what our experiment consists of. Create a human and provide and ensure that you can clearly distinguish anterior, posterior. So this is our example.